Meanwhile, over the weekend, SNL did its 50th anniversary tribute, and there was one moment that seemed to stand out. That was a moment where Tina Fey and Amy Poehler called out Ryan Reynolds in the audience, and it was a little awkward. This is supposed to be a joke about Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively now being widely derided as not particularly good or nice people because they, of course, have been attacking Justin Baldoni. They accused him of sexual harassment. She had basically attempted to take over his film and rewrite the script, and she brought Taylor Swift in as support and Ryan Reynolds, and they tried to bully Justin Baldoni, and then Justin Baldoni basically ended up as a character, apparently, in the new Deadpool movie. And so now Ryan Reynolds is going to try and joke his way out of it, and it didn't go over amazing. Like, the audience that's seated around Ryan Reynolds looks awkward. Particularly keep your eye on Kevin Costner, who kind of looks like he wants to crawl through the floor during this one.
I have a question.
Oh, hey, Ryan Reynolds.
Hi.
Hey. Ryan Reynolds, how's it going?
Great.
Some people in the background not looking happy. Okay, so, joking about how you and your wife essentially tried to leverage a director by accusing him of sexual harassment is not amazing. It's not an amazing look. I think it's going to do serious career damage to Ryan Reynolds. And by the evidence, it probably should. If the entire shtick of Ryan Reynolds is garrulous, fun-loving, nice guy, what's his reputation after all of this? Seriously, well, what is the reputation after you and your wife basically attempt together to take over a movie where she was simply hired as an actress and then put together a spate of allegedly defamatory accusations against that same guy because you didn't like the publicity that was being spread about you? What does that say about you? And Ryan Reynolds, his entire brand is rooted in this sort of fun-loving dude that you'd want to have a beer with. But what if that fun-loving dude is actually just acting as a tool of his wife as she attempts to take over random movies in which she appears, even though she's really not that big of a star? And SNL trying to sort of whitewash Ryan Reynolds with that joke is not a particularly good look. That wasn't the only not amazing look on SNL this weekend. So SNL did an episode of Black Jeopardy. So this was a very funny sketch when it first appeared at Black Jeopardy on SNL. This version, they had Tom Hanks appear as a white contestant on Black Jeopardy wearing a MAGA hat. And the implication seemed to be that he's kind of a racist. So here we go.
Speaking of church, can I say something? If more folks went to church, we wouldn't be in this mess we're in now.
You know what? I agree with you, Doug. I'd like to shake your hand, sir. Here we go.
No.
Oh, no. It's just a handshake. Yeah, it's just a handshake. Yeah, all right. You're welcome at Black Jeopardy anytime.
All right. Well, thank you, my brother. Maybe I'll start a show for you to come on, and we'll call it White Jeopardy.
No. We don't need it. We don't need it.
So that was a joke that didn't play at all. So, again, he's playing Doug, sporting a MAGA hat. That's Tom Hanks. And apparently they had a bunch of shared sentiments about distrust of government and other issues, but then was thrown by having to shake the hand of a black man. So there are two ways to read that. And one way to read that would be to suggest that Tom Hanks is playing the MAGA guy as a overt racist who doesn't want to shake the hand of a black man. The other way to read that is maybe as a joke about his sort of perception of black criminality, which is still calling him kind of racist, but not quite as sort of terrible, I guess. Either way, not a good joke. And some people were offended by it. Again, Hollywood basically insulting the MAGA supporters is not a great look, but to be fair, that's a pretty mild jab. I think people may be overreacting to that particular one. Honestly, the Ryan Reynolds thing is way worse. The Ryan Reynolds thing, like bringing out Ryan Reynolds to joke about an ongoing controversy with Justin Baldoni. Like, where's Justin Baldoni there? Why didn't they bring Justin Baldoni and have him do a joke? I feel like that's, just another indicator of the power imbalance, as the lefties among us like to say. You know that feeling when you wake up and your back is already complaining? Well, that was me more often than not. Don't get me started on how my old mattress turned into a heat trap at night. I mean, just terrible. Since switching over to Helix, I wake up feeling ready to take on my busiest days and the craziest headlines. Here's what makes Helix different. They don't believe in one-size-fits-all sleep solutions. Instead, they use their sleep quiz to match you with a custom mattress based on your body type and sleep preferences. Whether you sleep hot, need extra support for your back, or share your bed with a restless partner, Helix has a perfect match for you. And again, I've got that firm mattress that breathes at night, means I'm sleeping better. Right now, Helix is offering an incredible President's Day sale. This exclusive offer for my listeners is better than you will find if you were just to visit their main website. Visit helixsleep.com/Ben. Get 27% off site-wide, plus 2 free Dream Pillows with mattress purchase and free bedding bundle. That's 2 Dream Pillows, sheet set, and mattress protector with any Luxe or Elite mattress order. That's helixsleep.com/Ben for 27% off site-wide, plus 2 free Dream Pillows with mattress purchase and free bedding bundle. 2 Dream Pillows, sheet set, mattress protector with any Luxe or Elite mattress order. Again, just visit helixsleep.com/Ben for this exclusive offer. So when it comes to Ukraine, you may have noticed on a map, is very, very close to the rest of Europe. In fact, Ukraine is right in the middle of Europe, just spatially speaking. Ukraine borders a number of European countries, including Hungary, Poland, and Romania, among others. And it turns out that the Europeans, while they've increased their defense spending, have been rather hesitant to actually take further actions. They want the United States to foot the bill. And the Trump administration has been saying to the Europeans, listen, we're tired of footing the bill. This is on your continent. Why don't you take a leading role here? And if you want to take a leading role in the negotiations, perhaps you should step up to the table and increase your defense spending. Perhaps you should make the kinds of moves that might lead people to take you seriously when you guarantee, for example, Ukrainian security. Why is it that the United States always gets dragged into your domestic squabbles? Why is that precisely? Now, again, this is not a case that the United States should leave Ukraine to the predations of Vladimir Putin. It is a case that cudgeling the Europeans to actually, do what they're supposed to do is not a stupid tactic. In fact, it is very often a smart tactic. So, top diplomats, according to the Associated Press from Russia and the United States, met Tuesday in Saudi Arabia to discuss improving ties and negotiating an end to the war in Ukraine. Talks that reflected a major and rapid change in American foreign policy under President Trump. No Ukrainian officials were present at the meeting, which came as the beleaguered country is slowly but steadily losing ground against more numerous Russian troops in a grinding war that began nearly 3 years ago. President Zelensky has said his country will not accept any outcome from this week's talks if Kyiv doesn't take part. European allies have also expressed concerns that they are being sidelined as well. According to Secretary of State Rubio, he said the two sides agreed to pursue 3 goals, quote, to restore staffing at their respective embassies in Washington and Moscow, to create a high-level team to support Ukrainian peace talks, and to explore closer relations and economic cooperation. So what is this really about? So if you just read this on the surface, maybe this is about the United States cutting Ukraine out of the loop. Or perhaps what the United States is doing here is what the United States might have had to do all along, which is make a deal that they then cram down on Zelensky. Because remember, Vladimir Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, can't go back to his own people and say, I gave up Donbass and Crimea. Hundreds of thousands of people are dead, and I gave up Donbass and Crimea. He has to make the case to his people that they're going to win back these areas that pretty much everybody, including the Biden administration, recognized they were not going to win back. And so the idea of the United States cramming down the deal and playing bad guy in this particular scenario might actually be an off-ramp for Zelensky. Because both sides need an off-ramp here. Putin needs an off-ramp that allows him to go back to his people and say that they won something for this enormous cost. And Zelensky needs an off-ramp so that he can say to his people, listen, I didn't want to go along with the deal. The deal was forced upon me. I've been saying this for literally 3 years. For 3 years, I've been saying this. Are you tired of the lies and the twists of the mainstream media talking points? Yeah, me too. Join me in my newest series, Fact, where I dismantle and bring truth to this tiring mainstream agenda.